Alright guys, welcome back. So I'm still working on the deck, right? I'm still trying to figure it out. Like, we know it's consistent. It's just whether we can survive through a certain amount of interactions and what's the breaking point, because the consistency is there. We can easily get to speeder, we can easily get to the cards we need, but it's just whether it's resilient enough to push past interactions, and that's the frustrating part, right? Because the moment you get to this, right, like the moment you get result speeder and you're like, because ashes, they can't gamma you, they can't ash you, they need to have like an impermanence or a vigilor or like a drool or an Nibiru to like counter this hyper synchro summoning, because you just chain block, and that's the good thing about Doppel, and the good thing about Converter, right? Because it allows you to safeguard your speeder, right? And then after that resolve, you just start drawing cards of Librarian, and then just basically look, he had gamma. I was like, what? Interesting. I mean, he had the chance to gamma the Librarian, but I guess he just chose not to. I mean, I don't think he could have. I'm not sure, but this is what I mean. Like, he had gamma, he couldn't get to the speeder, which is really cool. They just keep drawing to Pot of Avarice, and just trying to draw into more Veilers. Veiler is a bit because like it's good in the sense that it works within a deck, but it's not a really strong hand trap at the moment. So it's like it's an inherent weakness of the deck. Like, it's not too great against the meta decks, but it just functions so well with the deck. So it's like, you know, you gotta take this. You gotta take the weaknesses with the strengths, and that's where Veiler is at the moment. I was hoping for Synchro Summon more so I can draw more off Librarian, but he just went straight into Calamities, which I mean, I didn't really mind because Croc could just get over, and then Cyber Synchro could protect the Croc, which was insane. So I just ended up with a pop and basically an Omni Negate, because it only negates face-up cards in the field. So he popped the card, and then he goes in that, and then he just summons Lulu, and okay. And this guy just comes back, this is just a big beater, and then just start like, look at that. That's insane. How cool is that? It's just game. Of course I went first, and we know when we go first and we don't have like that much of an interactive like battle, then your odds are you're gonna win, because what you can do, it's insane. You're gonna draw an X amount of cards to just replenish and just hold them off with your established board, and like with Veilers backing them up, because like Veiler alone sucks. Like, Veiler alone is pretty bad, but if you have Veiler and Crystal Wing, Veiler and a Croc, or Veiler and the Abyss, like, you can sequence the interactions quite cleverly, right? And it just does, like, if Virtual World gets like an Omni Gate, or like something to like a more synchros that I guess help the deck steer in a different direction other than just summoning Calamities, is like, I would love to play this deck. Like, if this was not the end game, if this was not the win con, I would be playing this deck, because I really like how it's functioning. I like how it works, but it's just off-putting that the win condition is this. It's like I don't know. It's not really fulfilling. Like, when you play it, it's like, okay, just gotta get to Calamities and it's home free, and there's something cheap about that. I just don't like. I don't know. Like. I don't know, like, I don't know. It's like your opponent has to open up a certain amount of very specific hand traps to counter this setup, and it just feels like, I don't know. I don't know. I just not my thing. So then I go that because it's not bound by the thing, and he draws me. I was like, okay, well, okay. I mean, no. So that's how pretty much any combo deck goes against. This is what I like about the Pendulum mechanic, because like these two are the stars of the deck, and then you just make speeder. Like, how cool is that? Like, that's really cool. And you chain block. You know, like, look at this. Once that resolves, you're just gonna go infinitely Hyper Synchro. Well, for those of you that kept asking me why is it called Hyper Synchro, is because you have Hyper Librarian, and as you're synchro summoning, you're triggering your TG. Your Hyper Librarian. You just keep drawing synchro, drawing synchro, and that's what it means by that. But like, look at this. It's just so cool. This is the freestyle of it. The nature of the deck, the way it's meant to function is, it's just super cool. Like, super cool. and then like put up Avarice. Oh, and this is where I decided I'm going first. So I have like Solemn, so like I can actually have some sort of like high impact cards to reinforce my board, right? Like, but I only drew one Solemn. I was like, what the heck? I mean, I drew Lancia, so Lancia's pretty decent. It helps with the level manipulation, which is quite cool. They can't use Lightning Storms me. Okay, so here's the deck list. Okay, so not much has changed other than I'm not playing the Symphonic package. Like it works, it has synergy with Synchron, but I wanted to just have like one card investments to get to where I need to go, right? Because this, I need to discard a card, and then what if it gets negated? What if the cards that are in my hand don't really work with this? So it was a bit so I'm testing without it, because like I just reverted to just maxing out access to, or emphasizing on the chances of drawing into Dark Room, so I can have Pendulum summon, because like this is a one card scale, and that's just complete scale. And look what you can Pendulum summon, which is dark, and you can normal summon this. That's huge. Like, so I was like, because like any variation of this or this and this, that's speeder, right? Because you can level manipulation. You can double its level, make it level 4, 4 and 1 at speeder, 4 and 1 at speeder, and this is speeder, this and this is speeder. You get what I'm going? And so I was like, okay, well, let's try that, and it's consistent. But now it's the matter of like, how do we can't just like let our opponents just not like do whatever they want, because that's where we end up with Calamities. But like, is the balance might be like right around the corner. So should we consider the Calamities anymore, or because like consistency is there. Like we can do speeder consistently. It's just how resilient the deck is, and that's how it falls apart, right? Because if you just lose to one interaction, that's not really ideal. That's not what you want to do. But like, yeah, I reverted just to having a very simplistic approach, just trying to minimize and just, I guess, lower the sitting wall while maintaining the deck's characteristics, right? Because like you want to be able to like have all these sequences that is Hyper Synchro, right? So I just thought of this. I was like, oh, this seems fine, because like at worst, right? If you open up multiples of these and this and this, that's just still a speeder play, because you can go summon this, add scale, and then what's it called? Put one of these in scales, pendulum summon this, and whatever else you have, and this can change the odds on the field, make it level 1, and then this becomes what's it call it? Speeder, right? And or vice versa. If this is in your scale, you can have this on the field and what's it called? Make that into speeder, which is still good. So you do what this is meant to be doing, except you don't like deplete your hand, which is what I wasn't liking. The only thing is a bit is the Veilers. The Veilers are like because like they're not too great right now against like anything. It's just the fact that it's a light that you can search off of Chaos Ruler. Like once you resolve your combo, like having a Crystal Wing and a Veiler is better than just having a Crystal Wing on its own, because it lets you sequence out your interaction to I guess to take your opponent by surprise, right? Like you don't want him to just know, okay, Crystal Wing, I can deal with the Crystal Wing, but then you have like a hand trap. It's like, oh, I didn't expect that, and then it just makes it like kind of weird, because like they're trying to bait your Crystal Wing, but you have Veiler, and then you just save your Crystal Wing for something else more important, more crucial. But that's the only thing I think I would change. But like I was thinking of droplets, but like it's just a tuner. It just works so well with like if you open up this and this and this. Like I don't know. It's still up in the air. But like so far, I like the build so far. It's really consistent. I guess considering what it's meant to be doing, right? Because like of course it would be more consistent if we actually played the Hulk, because it's just all you need is a tuner and a non-tuner, and it's basically a synchro except it's a link, and then you can just like do the Hulk play, you can do the Mecha Phantom Beast play, but like that means you won't be able to have all these like synchro climbing sequences that the deck is meant to be doing, to be able to be versatile enough to climb into the big boss monsters, right? because like this is quite crucial. This is really crucial. This is pretty like this gets you to speeder when you have like an awkward hand, which is amazing. Like if you take away these three cards and like incorporate the Hulk and the Mega Phantom Beast and like something else, it'll really change the deck, the way the deck functions, and that's like it's a bit it'll make the main deck more consistent, but it'll make the extra deck inconsistent, if that makes sense. Like if for Synchro players, you guys know what I'm talking about. But like that's basically it. It's really fun for sure. It's still trying to like test it to try to figure out a proper build, because oh my god, it's so fun. It's just hard to freaking come up with a good build. Oh my god. But anyways, oh yeah, another thing I was considering is playing like Dark Holes and like Regekis, right? Because the virtual world matchup is Calamities basically, right? Like anything else is not that really that much of an issue, because like the only reason you don't like virtual world is because Calamities just doesn't let you play. So I was thinking maybe going like side decking Dark Holes, and then like Dark Hole and then like set your Solemns, because like odds are they'll have like 3 virtual worlds for the following turn at like, and that's being like generous, 3 virtuals in hand, including the Quinn in grave. So it's like, okay, so if you strike the strike at the right time, it should be fine, because you're not gonna have anything on the field to pressure you with, because that's typically the issue. Like you have a strike set, and then you're like, oh wow, I hope he just uses the effect of Calamities so I can strike him, and then no. But if you just Dark Hold him and then you just set the strikes and pass, it's like, okay, well this is like the board's clean now, so now you have a chance to like not be threatened by lethal on board with them playing it safe and just going battle phase, you know. But that's something just a thought. But that's basically it. This is super fun. Go ahead and try it out. If you go ahead and try it out. Like, subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.